Welcome to autumn. The seasons, they are a-changing. We're moving out of the hotter than days and into the cooler days and even brisk nights. Changing season is always a great time to give your clients a new list of entrees to choose from, or if you're still working on building your recipe collection, to work on some seasonal things. Hey there, Chef Shelley here. I've had a personal chef business for over 15 years, and when I'm not cooking for my own clients, I help passionate cooks just like you start your own personal chef business so that you can get paid to do what you love, cook on your own terms without sacrificing all your nights, weekends, holidays, family life, or without having to go to culinary school if you're not able to. If that's something you're interested in, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell so that you never miss one of my weekly videos. Especially when it comes to catering, if that's a service that you offer, putting together menus that are seasonal can be a great thing to show to potential clients that you're talking to right now. Or just practicing recipes even to add to your recipe collection. Ton of different reasons to really get into seasonal cooking, right? So I'm going to talk through some of the ones that I am making now. They are customizable for vegetarians. Some of them can be gluten-free or keto or tweaked to a whole bunch of different specialties, or just even to your potential clients' individual tastes. So here's what I'm cooking these days and why. First up, all-purpose braised pork roast. This is a fantastic recipe on so many levels. First of all, this is a great one for you to use even because it's a basic recipe that you can then turn into multiple different dishes to have during your week if you're really busy cooking for clients. So if you're cooking it for clients, it's fantastic because it tastes great the next day, it freezes super well, and even for clients, you can use it as is, served with, if you're doing sides, mashed potatoes or polenta or something like that, and use it in another dish like barbecued pork sandwiches, hash, or a green chili stew. It's really, really flexible. Now, of course, this one can't be translated into a vegetarian dish, but it can be varied. You can use the same style of thing to do a beef chuck roast. You can use it, like I said, to prepare things for different dishes. It's very versatile. You can leave the peppers out if you have a client who hates them. Add in onions, leave out garlic. Really adjust the seasoning to whatever your client preference is. All right, don't worry, vegetarians. I've got you covered. One of my favorites to make for me is this quinoa and butternut squash stew. Now, yes, it does include poultry in the base recipe, but super easy. Just leave it out, substitute vegetable broth, and it's a delicious vegetarian entree. And it's great because, as you know, quinoa has a high protein content for a non-protein type ingredient. And if you are using a protein, you don't have to use the shredded chicken. You can use turkey or shredded pork or ground chicken or turkey. I love using the green chilies in it. If your client doesn't like spicy food, use mild, and it will just add an extra flavor and taste delicious without being spicy. But you can also absolutely use hot roasted green chilies. It's great to serve this with some sour cream or crema on the side, another one that tastes even better the next day. And as we know, that's huge for meal prep and it freezes great. I do have one little tip for you on this one. Do not use frozen, prepped, or cubed butternut squash. I've tried it that way. It is so flavorless, adds nothing to the dish. It was a real disappointment, but you can absolutely use the pre-prepped diced butternut squash that you can get in the produce section. Just make sure it's really fresh and be prepared to pay about a 4-time markup to have them have done the prep for you. Next up, Asian rice bowls. You know, it's funny. I was thinking as I was adding this one, I like a stew, fine, or an all-in-one kind of dish like that. But by calling it a bowl, I love it because it seems like you're getting so many different things in it, right? Bowls are fantastic to use in your recipe collection because, again, they are infinitely variable. This one calls for ground turkey, and depending on the client, you can use anything from 85% lean ground turkey to 96 or 99% ground lean turkey. Just remember, the leaner of a protein that you're using, the more careful you'll want to be preparing it because, man, it dries out and gets a very unappealing, grainy, crumbly kind of texture. So you can use ground chicken. You can use, of course, a shredded or cubed protein. You can use tofu or another alternative protein. All the components in this are separate, which make it great to appeal to different members of your client family. For instance, if somebody hates cucumbers, you can package them separately. You can make the sauce more mild and put the hot sauce on the side. You can include julienne carrots, which, by the way, most grocery stores also sell those pre-prepped, which can be fantastic. Keep the cilantro on the side, do edamame as a side dish. It's infinitely tweakable. Finally, next up, because it is getting to be that time of year, don't hate, I didn't write the calendar, bourbon and molasses glazed turkey. It's getting to be turkey season in just a few short, I'm gonna say weeks. There's a couple months still, but anyway, you might have clients that want to have turkey at, Thanksgiving or in November and don't want to deal with it themselves, or they just aren't having a bunch of family over. So preparing this, which is just a turkey breast from them, can be the perfect answer. And there are also people that like to eat turkey year round. It's a great alternative to those boring boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And another great thing about this glaze is not only is it delicious, but it uses bourbon, which is like the most popular liquid on the planet right now, it seems. The molasses, though, is the secret ingredient because it gives the turkey a beautiful browned look, even if the oven doesn't have a turnout magazine worthy. It's nice and brown. I'm all about cheating if the cheating also makes it delicious. This glaze would also be great on pork tenderloin, on chops, on roast, or on an alternative protein. So again, this is 4 examples of fantastic dishes that you can be incorporating into either your practice if you're getting ready to start your personal chef business or growing your recipe collection, or incorporate right into your personal chef business if it's that time of year when you are offering them a freshened up new entree list. Again, you should always be growing your recipe collection and always be mastering new techniques, whether that's sauteing chicken breasts or grilling a pork tenderloin. Maybe you've never used a pressure cooker and you can use that pork roast recipe and experiment with your slow cooker, your oven, and the pressure cooker and see which do you like, which takes longer, how do you feel about the flavor. Remember, when you're practicing at home, you want to be mindful of how long is it taking? Does the recipe reheat well the next day? Do you need to undercook the pasta a little bit? Just different things. What do you think is the best way to reheat the dish? Oven, microwave? What are the instructions for that? How long should it take? These are all things that you can experiment with on your own to improve your skills, master your recipes, and more. If you need more practice, or if you're just getting introduced to doing personal chef services, aka meal prep services for clients, there's a link below this video or right here where you can download my free guide that walks you through planning a service, making all your lists, doing the grocery shopping, cooking it, packaging it all up, and putting it in the fridge. Once you get really good at this, I'm telling you, the clients are out there and they're hungry for what you're cooking.